This is going to be absolutely devastating, and frankly, I'm thankful nobody got hurt. Looked in my rear view and saw my splitter going end over end. All right, guys, this is exciting. Many of you have been looking for updates on the splitter, and I've got it back here. We got to take it off the trailer. I need to go get my replacement wheel, which the original wheel got bent up pretty good when the splitter flipped over. But the machine is back, and I am here with Corbin, who is the welder fabricator who fixed up this machine. So he's going to give us a little bit of a walk around and show us what he did.
Starting off, obviously the spindle completely got bent. And our original plan of attack was going to be to just replace the spindle end here, and inevitably we ended up replacing the entire axle, so we didn't have to intrude on like the main frame and cut apart anything. So cut the old axle out, replaced it. Was actually able to turn the original good side out in the lathe and put the other spindle in. Also replaced the jack. The whole assembly had ripped off, and yeah.
And where that assembly snaps on with a snap ring was completely ground off by the asphalt, right? Or partially, so there was no way of salvaging that. So you had to weld on like a new plate there, right?
Yep. The whole new assembly, new plate, new backing plate. Fortunately, everything came off. They didn't weld everything solid from the factory just for that reason, for serviceability, and I'm super appreciative of that. So yeah, it was a good fun project, and look forward to many more, hopefully not under the same circumstances.
Yeah, no, I don't want to work on this thing again. So you did mention too, you did some stuff, just taking a look at the hydraulics, and you noticed the valve handles were off a little bit. So kind of just point out real quick what you did up there.
So both of the lower clevises on this side were pretty galled up, and we were able to pull the handles out, straighten them back out, repair the lower clevises so we didn't have to replace it. And we got everything traveling back to the way it's supposed to. Replaced a gauge, went through the hydraulics, checked all the fittings, and everything got a clean bill of health. This thing is tough as nails. Took a heck of a hit, and it kept on ticking.
So the next thing for me is to install the tank, fill it with oil, and see how it runs. I'm going to be another day or two before I can do that because the oil is on order. None of the local stores had enough oil to fill this thing up. So for today, we're just going to put that wheel back on and put it in storage until a day or two from now, and then we can see how it runs. But big thanks to Corbin for doing what needed to get done and getting this thing on to its next step. I got this new hydraulic tank here. Hopefully all of its fittings and everything are in the same location as the old one. And then I'll be able to just transfer everything over. This oil level gauge had these nuts on the back, and I was thinking, how in the world are we going to install that in the tank? There's no fitting or no opening large enough to fit my hand inside there. But I think, if I'm lucky, there's some welded nuts inside the tank, and I just thread this on. All right, this seems like the last step. Probably jinxed myself, because if I didn't say I was a little nervous, I'd be lying. Because I've got over $1,000 fixing this thing, and I still don't know if it's gonna work. But this is a step I've got to do in order to figure out if it's gonna work. All right, I only got 4 buckets of hydraulic oil, and it just brought it up within the sight glass. You know, pouring out of the top of those buckets the way that I was leaves a little bit in each bucket. So what I'll probably have to do is pull the tops off and consolidate what's left from all of those buckets, and that'll probably get this level up right where it needs to be, which, if I recall correctly, there was a line on the original tank. Actually, I've still got the original tank, and it was a little bit up past halfway where that cold oil level is supposed to be. So I'm going to try to replicate that as close as I can, but for today, to see if it works, it's got enough oil, so let's try it out. Whew, nervous. All right, fuel's on, choke's on. This is on. Oh, I might have to bleed it. Yep. Shove some paper towels down in there. It's going to shoot out some oil, I believe. Yep. What the hell? It's one of those times where I wish I ponied up the extra few $100 and got the electric start. All right, let's see if we can make it pop. We did a thing. Bunch of oil to burn off. I don't know what you guys can see, but there's loads of oil pouring out of the exhaust all down the engine here. So I'm going to try to pull the exhaust manifold off, and maybe whatever's in there can drain out. I also need to leave very soon, unfortunately. So this might be the last thing I do today, is just open this up and let the oil drain out. And I can come back with some brake cleaner and try to clean it off and see if it'll fire up. What size is that? That's a half. That's smaller than a half. Japanese, probably metric. 12 probably. It is. Okay. Where's all the oil? If we try to start it now, you bet we do. It's gonna be loud. Nice. Knocked my exhaust gasket off. I kind of expected loads of oil to come pouring out of the exhaust, but that's not happening. So, I don't know what to do. Unfortunately, I gotta get out of here. So I think I'm just gonna try to leave this sit out. I'm gonna set it on some cardboard upright maybe and see if oil drains out of it overnight. I should already be out of here, but something was telling me I should check the carburetor. Maybe it's full of oil. Who knows? It is. So if we're not getting good fuel, of course it's not going to work. Alright, on. Choke maybe? Let's try choking it. I'm a complete idiot. I can't believe I did that. I completely missed a fitting. When I took it all apart, I left this line up here. It's supposed to go down here. And lost a boatload of oil. I'm so stupid. This wraps up the video tonight. It runs. It will work. I'm just stupid.